So I'm back on the Costa Blanca with the latest news, and as you're aware, there's a missing person here in Spain. Been missing since the 14th of December. No contact since then. His phone's gone dead, and yep, the family are worried sick. It's a big search investigation going on, and they're searching all the areas of Orihuela, Costa, and this is one of the areas actually searched. We're going to check this out today and give you all the latest update. And also, there's been a reopened case of the missing teenager 6 years ago. It's all gone to court, and yep, they've actually reopened a case on that. So we're going to give you all the latest news on these missing people here on the Orihuela Costa. Actually down in Dream Mills 2 on the Orihuela Costa, and yeah, this missing person was last seen on the 14th of December, and this was the last location apparently he was gone missing from. And we're going to show you just down there where the last person that actually is supposed to have seen him, the house where he was staying, where he disappeared, and he was meant to return back home on the 18th of December to the UK. It was meant to be a short trip, and he was invited out here, and he met up with some friends in Cabaret, and they'd been spotted around a few bars before eventually he went missing. It was meant to set off down into Benidorm. Apparently a £30,000 reward out for him, and GoFund page, 21,000 has been reached so far. The family were over here last week, and they were searching this part of Orihuela Costa, all this wasteland just over here. And yeah, huge search party. Started off with 50 and it's growing by the day. They're meeting up every day in Cabaret, and they're searching all these wastelands. They've actually searched over the other side of Dream Hills, the forest. And yeah, they're not getting much help apparently from the police. The Northern Ireland police and all that are getting involved. They've got sniffer dogs and everything, and the family just want to find his body. It's very strange circumstances behind this one. They reckon he was lured out here by some friends, and yeah, and they're really looking for his body rather than looking for the person now. They definitely think he's murdered. The police think he's been murdered. This is the picture above there of John George Hardy. You've got a couple of kids, and the father's been out here, and the brother and sister, they've all been out here to do a search for, like I say, all these areas here, these wastelands, and they want to check everything. They're not giving up, and they said they're going to stay out as long as they have to, even if they have to live out here till they actually find where he actually is. So the latest news we've got on this John George Hardy is they're just searching all these areas because he never actually got to Benidorm. And of course they're all desperately worried about it, and yeah, it was actually officially reported missing on the 18th. So the latest news we got on this George John Hardy, the big huge search operation going on, and of course it was all meant to be a trip to Benidorm. They reckon he was lured, like I mentioned. They reckon there weren't going to be such trips. So yeah, it's a bit of a fishy story. I mean, presuming that he's murdered before you know, they actually find a body. But they're really desperate to find his body, even though they're regretting what the circumstances are. And they're not going to give up. But he was from Belfast, and yeah, he's just come down here, and apparently he stayed with some friends just down there on the left-hand side. A couple of people that had actually been questioned by the police and released without charge. They were the last people to apparently see him leave. But the family heard from him on a phone, and during the phone call, the phone just went dead. So that's when they knew something was definitely up. The bad thing is, he's actually got a couple of children, so they're actually missing their dad as well. He was meant to get his flight back on the 18th of December. And of course, this is what's alerted everything because of the phone suspicion, and he never returned back home and didn't get that flight. This 37-year-old is missing now. And I definitely reckon it's in this area, Orihuela Costa, and all these wastelands. They're just big search, like I mentioned, was down here last week, and they searched all this area, all around here, all this wasteland, which is right next to the AP7. And the story goes, they reckon the police are not actually doing enough. They're not really interested. Apparently, they were told to leave the police station when they went in to report him missing, as the rumour goes. So yeah, it's not really good news on the Spanish police front, but the Northern Ireland police have been over here, and they've sent the K9s over, and they travelled to Alicante to help in the search. And yeah, media spokesman said for the K9 search and rescue, NI said 7 of our team and K9 are on their way to Alicante and various other airports, and they're over here, and they're going to start searching all these areas. So we got the sister, the brother and the parents all over here. And yeah, got this big search party, like I mentioned, meeting up every day up in Cabaret, and they're not going to give up. In all the mountains, caves, all the ravines, all this kind of little forestry areas. This 37-year-old man is actually known by two names, actually, John Hardy or George Hardy. Yep, mobile phone's been switched off since the 14th of December, when it completely went dead on that call. And the police have already said to him, you know, they're pretty sure that he has been murdered. So yeah, there is some strange events to this case. But just up there to the left there's a little road there, and on the right is one of the properties that the police did go and speak to the occupants of, which were friends. And the story goes, the police never pressed any charges. They released one a little while after, and the case goes on. All over Facebook, you've got all these kind of different posts of the people that were supposed to be questioned and the people that are last seen them, made contact. But meanwhile, the GoFund page is ticking up and raising the money they need. And they are so desperate, seeking for any information. Anyone's got any information. And it's not just here in Orihuela, Costa. They're even asking people back in Benidorm, where he's supposed to travel. So if anyone ever knows anything, they're asking you to contact the number that's on the poster just up there. Yeah, that is the latest news. So yeah, the Northern Ireland police are involved, more search dogs over and more areas being searched. But yeah, the last comment the police said to the family was that they believe he's been shot, and they're not looking for a disappearance, and they're now starting to take it a little bit serious, so they say. But that was the latest missing person here. But yeah, there was one case 6 years ago, if you're all aware of it. A 19-year-old person went missing around Christmas time. And every year the family put up a big protest about it, wanting to, you know, make awareness and posters everywhere, and it all went quiet for a couple of years. And then eventually, it was the other day, the actual courts decided, they're going to reopen the investigation because there's some fresh new evidence in. And it was New Year's Eve, 6 years ago in 2019, just vanished. Same again, a lot of areas have been searched, and with no joy. Missing 23-year-old Alejandro Jimenez. He disappeared on this New Year's Eve evening. And rumours have it there was a bit of a confrontation with flatmates he was staying with. They had evidence of this and video recording, so they know it did really happen. And the 23-year-old Henry disappeared from the flat straight after all this kicked off, this big argument. Argument kicked off, they've got video evidence, they've got witnesses, it come to punches and blows and everything. And he stormed out, and he hasn't been seen since. And the flatmates were interviewed by police, and they actually said Henry was a bit like a firecracker, apparently, ready to explode any time. Of course, he's not here, and to defend himself, is he? This case is remaining a big mystery, and it weren't to the 1st of January this year. They were always at Constitution Plaza, up by the church in Torrevieja, and a big protest, and it's being reopened with this fresh evidence that's just come to light. But they're not telling you what the fresh evidence is, but they've got evidence now which they reckon they can solve the case. The flatmate, the Icelandic person, still living in Orihuela, Costa, and is yet to testify in the Orihuela courts on the case. So yeah, they're all saying, with this new evidence, they'll definitely identify the person who's responsible, and they'll get to solve this case eventually, and hopefully find where the body is. It did go missing from the day one when the police went to the flatmates to get all the evidence. They reckon they near enough worked out their statement before the police got there, so they all had pretty similar statements, and they reckon there's definitely something fishy, but there weren't no real evidence. So they're hoping when this Icelandic man eventually gets summoned to court and he does his statement, he's in the old witness box, it's going to lead to the real people that are responsible during this party where it all kicked off with the old fight and fistifuss. And now they're hoping when he gets to testify, the Icelandic flatmate, and tells them all what happened at this party on New Year's Eve, and yeah, tell the real truth, I suppose, in the old witness box. It's going to actually lead to the real people, and we're going to finally come to an end with the case, and hopefully, yeah, do find this body, of course. So that's the latest information we've got with the missing people in Spain. So yeah, I'll keep you updated if we have any more information of that.